You're with Julian on the Brown Note. And a bit of a roundup of the Oscars. The most predictable Oscars, the least surprising Oscars in modern history. Firstly, what is going on? The last decade had a near unending run of virtually every year, in fact going back to about 2005, where the winner wasn't a very good film. Certainly not a great one. The Hurt Locker, The Artist, The King's Speech, in the modern times, The Green Book, which was very average and a little bit cringe-inducing. Last 2 years, Parasite and Nomadland actually picking the best two films. Really strange. It's like this whole... Everyone goes on about how woke the Oscars have got. But they seem to be getting it right a lot. I didn't... When they had this whole sort of woke thing, and I didn't rate Moonlight. But then I hated La La Land. I think I gave Moonlight a 6.5 out of 10. Thought it was pretty dreary. But it was up against La La Land, which was one of my worst films of the decade. But they seem to be getting it really right. The one thing that really, really annoyed me about the Oscars, I didn't put any money down. I think I got virtually every category right. And I'm not even joking. Not the documentaries, because I didn't know anything about them. But even the score and the song and every major category was what I would have picked. So it's quite disturbing. I said in the review, my first ever 10 out of 10 review on January 17th, that Nomadland was definitely going to win Best Picture, Best Director for Chloe Zhao, and Best Actress for Frances McDormand. It wasn't even in the... Last year, it was, I thought, a really close race. I thought Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was a masterpiece. I thought that Parasite was a masterpiece. I thought that The Irishman, given everything, could have easily walked off with a clutch of Oscars and got nothing. This year, there was only one true masterpiece. The rest of the films were like 8.5 out of 10, if at best. But that one was the flat-out runaway masterpiece of the year. And the only fluctuation I had is saying I thought if it won enough awards that Carey Mulligan would win Best Actress for A Promising Young Woman. I still think that was close. And next to Nomadland, A Promising Young Woman, because that was the most dynamic, dangerous, brave, challenging, prescient of the moment filmmaking of the year. Excuse me. That I said that would win Best Screenplay, Best Original Screenplay, and I wasn't sure whether she would pit Frances McDormand. In the end, she didn't, and it looks like they're going for quality as well. I didn't expect Chadwick Boseman to win, purely because all the momentum over the last month and a half when they're actually voting for the Oscars has been Anthony Hopkins. They clearly released that film for him to win Best Actor. There was no fuss about Chadwick Boseman in the run-up at all. And a lot of it is politicking, and they released The Father in the run-up to the Oscars with all of the focus on Anthony Hopkins. So I wasn't surprised at all. Quite a good mixed bag in the acting categories, because I thought that every one of those actors, Riz Ahmed had a swell of support for him. Chadwick Boseman we know about. Gary Oldman for Mank I thought was another really strong contender there, because I thought that Mank would have been so loved by the Academy for being a film about Hollywood, they would have given it Best Actor, but they just couldn't bring themselves to say that it was a better film than Nomadland. Stephen Ewan in Minari is a weak link there. McDormand or Carey Mulligan. Great to see Daniel Kaluuya win Best Supporting Actor. Out of those new black British actors, he's magnificent. I don't know why no one's ever put him out for a new Bond. Like, John Boyega to me is just the black Matt Damon. He's never been particularly great. He's always a really likeable guy. I'm not blown away by him as an actor. So for me, every film I've seen Daniel Kaluuya in, from Get Out to Widows, he's been totally different. He can go from being boy next door to this really menacing gangster in Widows. And he's got one Oscar under his belt. I seriously don't think that's the last one. I think he's arguably the most talented actor in his age range from Britain. And Yoon Eugene came out at the end with a massive groundswell of support for Minari. Minari, I didn't think was a great film. I thought it was very pretty obvious, very post-Jean de Florette, and by the end of it, I was already kind of forgetting it. I gave it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was a good film, but nothing too great. Glad to see she won Best Supporting Actress. Best Original Screenplay had to be Promising Young Woman, no doubt. Adapted Screenplay was interesting because The Father won that, making it a twofer. I actually thought Nomadland would have got Best Adapted Screenplay there, but it did get 3 absolute top-tier awards. And I don't know, sometimes Pixar just gets too many Oscars. I gave Soul a great review, but an awful lot of people thought that Wolfwalkers should have got it. And it's such a different paradigm to the Pixar films that you've kind of thought it should have. Another Round is a film I haven't seen yet, but I definitely want to. So yeah, everything went exactly as I expected. The soundtrack from Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross, and John Batiste for Soul beat out the soundtrack by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross for Mank. Why not just do them all? I didn't even know there was a soundtrack to The Five Bloods. They just seemed to play Marvin Gaye's What's Going On. They're 2 films that I thought really missed out on the Oscars and were very highly rated by me in my top 5 of the year. I'm Thinking of Ending Things by Charlie Kaufman was my second favourite film of the year, only beaten by Uncut Gems, which would have made last year's Oscars had they not blackballed it. I thought that was an amazing film. Incredible film and brilliant writing by Charlie Kaufman. So how he's not in there, I don't even get. And the other one is kind of like the other version of A Promising Young Woman, The Invisible Man. What happened there? I know it came out really early in the year, but Lee Wannell's Invisible Man hit so many similarly prescient tropes about women being in abusive situations, gaslighting, physical and mental abuse. All of this stuff was in The Invisible Man. It was an amazing film. And Elizabeth Moss, the Handmaid's Tale woman, didn't even get a nomination, which really surprised me. So overall, the most boring Oscars ever. I know everyone's made a fuss about the big end, but it's not really interesting to me. Just the fact that Nomadland was the only flat-out masterpiece and won the 3 awards I said it would win. This is from Paranol, the dream pop / shoegaze guy from Korea. And to see the next part...